What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative podcast show for the Boss Rush Network. I am Beck, and I am your host, as always, LeRon Dawkins here. And of course, I've got the wonderful, the enigmatic, the exciting Stephanie Klimov. Welcome back.
That's me. Hi.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
Hi.
Boom.
Hold
No.
on. Hold on. Cool it, because
We're bonding over Monster Hunter. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You guys have fun with that.
That's what you want to call it.
That's what. Yeah. Bonding over Monster Hunter and Wiglets.
That's how I got
But,
two kids.
I also missed my main man Corey Derrick. What's up, dude?
Hello. I missed your face.
Mm-hmm.
My wife thinks you and your boyfriend are cute, by the way.
Oh,
I showed her pictures. She's like, when you sent us those pictures, she's like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "LeRon sent us pictures."
What are you looking at?
No, it wasn't like that. She was like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "LeRon and his boyfriend." She's like, "Oh, they're cute." I'm like, "They're all right."
Oh, I'm gonna tell my boyfriend that because he's definitely under the weather right now. Thanks in no small part to me. But another person I also missed. It's been 3 weeks, dude. Hey, Stoy, what's up?
It has been, man. It's been a long time.
I know. We haven't done anything since episode 101 of Crossroads, and it's because of just things, holiday sick days.
We took the holiday off, and then all of a sudden the Rona got you, and then
yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait for next week. But at least we got one day this weekend.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then we got a big gaming weekend coming up for us. But this is after dark. We don't talk about games that much here. We don't do that. How's everybody been? That's not sick.
Good, I guess. Fine. Fine. Good. Fine.
Yeah.
Tired, but that's just kind of how it's going to be for the rest of my life. Just tired always.
No family massacres from Turkey Day last week, right?
Oh, none. It was great.
I actually am like pretty tired because we had to move our Pow Block episode till last night because Ed's schedule changes all the time, and so we had to record last night, and I still got it up this morning, so I was up till like 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that really threw me off when that episode came up. I'm like, didn't they just go live? I was like, whoa. But I mean, I guess it ended up working out because you guys got to talk about the Mario Brothers trailer during a relevant time period, and it was great.
Yeah.
By the way, I know there was a direct for that, but how long was the direct?
Like 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
Why are they even? You know what? No, we're not doing video game discussions tonight. We're not.
It's Nintendo, LeRon. They need to control the message.
The movie.
Yes.
The movie.
Yeah.
The movie does look good.
I can't guarantee you I'm gonna be a day one person for it, but the movie looks good.
Oh no, I'm waiting for it to hit a streaming platform somewhere. I'm not going to see it.
I mean, I'll go to see it. It looks kind of
too many
cool.
snot-nosed kids in a theater.
No, I just hate going to the theater.
Well, I'm so psyched for it. I might not be a day one person, just not because of the movie, but because I don't want to deal with a packed theater full of kids just sneezing and coughing and chatter. Yeah. Oh, fuck that shit. We'll watch it as soon as we can, but not at peak hours. Hell no.
Right.
Yeah, like I watched the second trailer. I watched it today, and I gotta say, it's coming along better than I expected. It's coming along better than I anticipated. And even the little cheesy moment at the end when he was like, "Woohoo!" I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, there's a lot of references in that movie.
Ooh, a lot.
I knew there would be.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I don't know if any of you guys listened to the Jeff Gersman show, but on his podcast, he had he saw some pre-movie coverage of it or whatever, and I guess it's going to be on digital platforms to own or rent on May 11th, which is literally a month after the movie comes out. So
that's okay.
I don't know how
credible that is.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, if we look at the movie cycle right now, a lot of movies are hitting digital real fast.
It's probably a pandemic thing where People who want to go to the theater will go to the theater, but movies seem to have stopped having long tails unless you're Top Gun. So,
or Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever is doing great.
Is it?
I wonder how Avatar is going to do. I wonder how Avatar is going to do.
Avatar's either going to be the biggest movie of all time or it's going to tank. There's not going to be an in between.
Stakes are high.
I'm calling it now. I mean, it's just
too much time has passed since the last one. When was the last one?
I
2009?
know. I know.
2009, 2008. Like
I know. I got to sit down. I got to rewatch the original movie because all I remember is some humans got their asses kicked by a bunch of blue people.
But it's 4 hours long. Who wants to sit through that?
Well,
the original movie or the new one?
The original.
The original movie. Yeah.
That's the problem I'm having. It was long.
Yeah, it was
My
long.
boyfriend's like, "Oh, I want to rewatch again with you." And like, listen, I loved the movie at the time, but it was a one and done. Great movie, but I don't know. I can't tell if it's the time different. I don't feel the hype. I just don't feel so passionate. I'll eventually watch the sequel, but it's just not there for me. And obviously I can't predict what the movie is. I'm going to sound like a dick when the movie comes out, but I feel like the story kind of is almost the same. Some humans are going to come back and they got to protect their world. How is that new? I'm sorry. It's the same thing.
It takes place in water instead of in the sky.
Okay, so it's Fern Gully in the water. Okay, so
God,
whatever.
Fern Gully.
Thank you.
Fern Gully. Damn,
That's a great
reach.
movie.
Jeez.
No. She's not the first person I ever heard reference that, though. She's not.
Yeah.
Saying.
By the way, Avatar, the first one is 2 hours and 42 minutes. I thought it was longer, but I just looked on Disney Plus.
Is that the extended version?
This is the version that's on Disney Plus.
Okay, and that is the extended version.
So,
okay.
I don't know. Look, I saw the movie when it came out. I didn't think it was anything special. I rode the rides at Disney World, and that was it.
Me neither. I'll be honest with you. I enjoyed it for what it was back then, but I felt like it would get one sequel, but here it's getting 3 sequels. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, man. I feel like this is what Jim Cameron is trying to retire on. You know?
Yeah. They've already filmed the third one. They filmed 2 and 3 back to back, and they're filming 4 and 5 back to back. So
I'll be honest with you. The only reason why I'm even trying to go see this movie is because I want to see how Sigourney Weaver's character comes back. That's the only reason why I want to see this.
As a blue cat person,
I don't care. I just want to see how.
What? Why did she die in the first one? I don't even remember. Oh.
Yeah, you forgot. Yeah,
I have
yeah.
I don't even remember.
She died, and in order to save her life, she had to become a blue person or something like that, right? She had to become an avatar.
Well, no. Wait. Is that right?
I have no
I think
idea.
that's how that went.
That could be right. You could tell me Sigourney Weaver was just Sigourney Weaver in that movie, and I would believe you because I don't.
Can we just put some respect on Sigourney Weaver's name? Like she looks amazing for her age.
Hell yeah.
She does. Yeah. Which is why when they're like when she said she's ready to play Ripley again in Alien, I was like, let's fucking go.
Give her all the money.
Let's fucking go.
Turn her into a Disney princess. Why haven't we done that already? Come on.
Who's gonna fucking kidnap her? Who?
Exactly. We need some hardcore Disney princesses now.
True.
Speaking of royalty here, Corey wants to talk about our patrons.
Nice transition.
Yeah. I forgot. If you want to support Boss Rush After Dark and our plethora of content here on the Boss Rush Network, you can head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can support us at various tiers, including the $1 early access tier, where you get early access to 5 shows, including this one, 2 weeks early. And if you subscribe at the $5 level, you can become a Patreon producer. More tiers are coming, more exciting news on that later. But for now, our Patreon producers for this episode of Boss Rush After Dark are Adriel Munger, Always on Deck Comedy, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian Skipper, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. And I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. We give you perks for supporting us. If you don't want to support us financially, you can leave us a 5-star rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. hit the like button, hit the notification button, follow Boss Rush Podcast on Twitter, all that good stuff. And check out all of our content on bossrush.net, the website.
Hey, I'm curious, Corey.
What?
Okay, so we've got 3 tiers. So so how are we looking as far as like the silver tier?
We don't have anybody at silver. The silver tier is like soft launching.
Okay.
It hasn't even really technically been announced until literally this second. So we just added it. So,
exclusive.
Well, here the thing is okay. So I guess we'll just talk about the silver tier now because we kind of mentioned it on Power Block yesterday, but
it also works that this is a Patreon produced show too. So this works.
Yeah, this is Patreon's favorite show. The silver tier is our what you get at the silver tier is you'll be able to vote on Talk the Walk games for that show. You'll be able to submit your inquiries and questions and comments on those games when right before the show records. So Celeste, Ed, and gang can discuss them on the show. You'll be able to vote on After Dark topics. You'll be able to vote on community game night. You'll be able to ask questions for interviews that Celeste conducts and Ed conducts. So, we're still going to take free questions for the anchor shows. But, for Talk the Walk and stuff, since those are really kind of set up in that way, we're going to have voting options and stuff. So that's kind of what the silver tier is for. There's also going to be a gold tier called Boss Rush Party Night, which that's probably not coming till like February. But basically it's a once a month game night where we're going to limit that tier to like 4 or 5 people though. And we're going to have fans come on a live stream to play games like Back of the Box Trivia and Video Game 20 Questions. And Ed has some games that he wants to try out. And we're going to do like video game trivia and stuff like that. So,
Cool.
And
Nice.
then the money from some of the Patreon money from that tier is going to go towards prizes, like indie games and stuff like that. So, some of that feedback was what?
Thanks for sharing that. I'm sorry I blew the lid off of something a little early.
No, it's cool. Some of this kind of came from feedback from the meeting, and I know Stoy, one of your big feedback from the meeting was a little bit of sense of ownership and contribution, and I kind of really wanted to implement that.
I said that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's in my notes. It says Stoy,
okay, cool.
Sense of ownership and contribution from patrons. So, but the one thing that I want everybody to know is that we're doing a bronze, silver, gold, platinum tier system, and then the $1 is going to be the basic tier is what we're going to call it. The basic tier and the bronze tier, the $1 tier and the $5 tier will never change. They're never going to change. So, if you want to stay at those tiers, just want everybody to know that those values and stuff are never going to change. So I know some people kind of get worried when people start changing Patreons and taking certain things away or moving certain things to other tiers. So,
well, I had this happen to me just recently. I follow a YouTube channel called Chase on Two Wheels, and I follow a lot of like motorcycle people on YouTube, and he has his own, he calls it Wrecked Bike Garage. So like basically he takes trash bikes and fixes them up to be like, great, he had his own Patreon for a long time, but apparently Patreon was too restricting. So he decided to make his own membership on their website. So he's encouraging all his patrons to go to the website. And I just had this recently where I emailed them. I was like, bro, do you want me to stay on Patreon, or do you want me to ditch Patreon and go to your website? And they were like, yeah, go to our website. And I was like, well, do you look at, because like obviously they give the bikes away to the patrons, and it's like, okay, well, am I gonna get counted for all my Patreon contributions? And they were, he was like, yeah, of course you do. I was like, God, I fucking better.
Also at the silver tier, we have a so we have a Discord. It's open to everybody, right? But there's also going to be at that $10 tier a special badge and a Patreon VIP channel for all the people at the silver tier and above to kind of hang out and do whatever. But we're creating a special badge for you that you can put on your. I don't know how you do that in Discord. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I have the image ready. But I'm still just trying to figure out how to get that badge to people. So, yeah. And then also there's going to be a platinum tier. That's going to be like an exclusive merch thing, but I don't have that anywhere close to being set up yet. So, yeah. Sorry, that was a long kind of explanation of what's happening with Patreon, but.
But we like when it's explicit. You know how this show goes.
Yeah, I just, I mean, this year was kind of like a test year to make sure we could get the content out. And I think for the most part we did, except for, a little stumble with standard def. But we also brought back Talk the Walk and 1v1 in a big way. So I think we kind of canceled that out.
Well, cool. Thanks for that. All right. So I know I did not come prepared with a topic tonight. So please tell me you guys had one.
Oh my God.
We're going to talk all about you, LeRon.
Oh,
does anybody have Spotify?
Yes.
I do.
Did you guys get your wrapped up?
Yes.
Notifications?
As a matter of fact, I shared the entire video of my wrapped on my Twitter.
Oh, geez, you pretentious little hey everybody.
I don't have a paid Spotify membership, so I don't actually have that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, same here. I'm like, say what?
Yeah, I do have all the wrapped up stuff from our podcast though. I didn't look at them all, but that'd be cool. I'm gonna bring up the
weird.
After
The
Dark
podcast
one
like barely gives any information. Like it's
know.
weird.
Yeah.
It just says like, oh hey, you I think the most meaningful information was like, you are in the top 5, or you are the top podcast for this many subscribers, and you are in the top 10 for these many subscribers. Like that was cool, but like the rest of it is like, here are the stats.
Look at that. I didn't even look at the wrapped for Crossroads.
Yeah,
I found it on Anchor.
Yeah, it like when you log into Anchor, it just kind of does it all. Like it's like, do you want to check out your Spotify wrapped up?
Yeah.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really tell me anything. Like, it didn't give me any specific numbers. It just said like, hey, you put out like so many episodes this year, and these many minutes of content, and that's about it.
The only show it gave me any kind of like real statistics for was Tower Casuals.
Okay.
I haven't looked at After Dark though, but I doubt it's going to give me anything like that. But yeah, Tower Casuals gave me like all kinds of other information that I didn't get for any of the other podcasts, and I don't understand why. But explore your Wrapped for After Dark. Let's explore it. Let's explore.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
It's not going to be anything crazy.
Nope. It's so it's going to tell me, "Hey, look, After Dark. Your Wrapped has arrived. Let's jump in."
Hey, you did great.
Yeah, pretty much. Gosh, all these graphics. You don't get this on the mobile version.
Yeah.
You created 3,146 minutes of new content. That's more than 96% of other categories in the leisure category. I don't know why we're in leisure, but
we're in the leisure category too, which is interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like topics and then like subtopics, because like on Anchor we're definitely under video games, but
yeah,
actually I think for this one we're under entertainment because we don't really talk about games on this show. People loved you, it says.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
You already told me that, guy. You can't hear us, but we're clapping right now.
Yeah.
Should get that checked out. Can you guess what your number 1 episode is? 10 vacations, honeymoons, and COVID. Number 1. Welcome to After Dark, naughty games, and ...
Yeah.
All right.
Number 12. Who's the bad guy in these situations? It's probably this one. It is. It's the COVID episode that we had Dan on.
Holes.
I know. I'm disappointed. Holes did not perform like I wanted them to.
What? It's not on the list?
It's not.
That's not okay.
It only gives you your top 3 episodes. It doesn't give you like a whole list. I'm very disappointed though, guys. You guys did not use Holes properly.
When do guys ever use Holes properly?
I don't know.
Come on now.
Your podcast was heard in 14 countries. Your top 5 were United Kingdom is the number one country for After Dark.
Oh, really? We're famous across the pond?
Yeah.
Wow.
United States, Canada, Ireland, and France.
Oh, bonjour.
So,
Oh
cool.
God.
Oh my gosh, all these spinning graphics. I'm gonna have a seizure on camera.
I see like the color and the light reflect off your face. Jeez.
Something magical happened between August 28th and September 3rd. You had 93% more listeners than normal. Okay. What are Boss Rush After Dark listeners like exactly?
Oh,
Let's
what
find
are they
out.
like?
Horny.
Horny.
Calculating listeners' personalities. Let's see. Your listeners are the adventurer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I am. I came up as the adventurer on my personal Wrapped, Spotify Wrapped.
Your listeners venture out into the unknown, search for fresher podcasts and gems yet to be found. Cool.
So we only get Wrapped if we're a part of premium?
I guess I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I just thought like everybody got that. Like
I didn't get one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to see if I'm an adventurer.
Yeah, I just looked. I didn't get a wrap for that.
It says
For
Stephanie,
Crossroads.
you're an adventurer to me, no matter what. anybody says.
Thank you.
your fans are a dedicated bunch, it says. Yeah, Patreon's #1 show. Of course they are. Oh my gosh, these lights. 22% of your episodes are followed. Okay,
Okay.
whatever that means. Are you stalking us? 22% of you are stalking us. You created one poll. I did. Okay.
Yeah, I think we created like 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I did polls from my show, and then for some strange reason, like the option to do them went away.
So it's kind of crazy with mine. Like you can always kind of tell the year that I'm having with my Wrapped. So like my top 3 genres, where they'll tell you like, oh, these are the top 3 genres that you like. One of like the top one was lo-fi beats because I like to listen to when I'm doing schoolwork or if I'm studying or something like that. I'll usually put on a playlist of lo-fi beats to kind of help me, lo-fi beats to chill and study too, kind of thing. And then it's like heavy metalcore, alternative rock. It's like kind of crazy. So that's why I am the adventurer, because apparently they said that I've experienced 57 different genres of music. Actually, my brother just sent me his, and one of his top ones is Yugoslav rock.
Okay.
I didn't know that. Like he was like, I didn't know there was a Yugoslav rock, and I was like, I didn't know either. So, but yeah,
I didn't get any of the cool percentage stuff like we did for the other shows though, because After Dark started this year. So I guess cool. I guess the other shows gave us like percentages of like your followers went up 172%.
Sick.
But not here. So yeah, that was fun. Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool. Spotify.
All right.
Is that what they told you, or did you just make that shit up?
No, that's not what they told me.
Okay, all right, cool. All right. I was gonna say, it didn't tell me that.
No glove, no love, Stoy.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
So seriously, what are we talking about on this episode? Who has a topic?
Right. Yeah. What are we talking about?
That was my top. That was my contribution.
Thanks, Stoy.
Thanks, Stoy.
1 out of 3.
I mean,
Stephanie, you're the last one.
What?
You're our only hope.
Me?
Yeah.
Why me?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I can't be put on the spot like this. I don't know.
Well, how about this? All right, how about this? Like, regardless of whatever your Spotify wrapped up is, what was your music taste like this year?
Thank you, because I was just defaulting
I
to
know
sexual topics.
Oh no,
We already
we're
talked about
adults
Wiglets
here.
and
We're
Wii
adults here.
remotes
We
and
have to
Monster
act
Hunter.
like adults.
Adults have sex.
That is true,
Sure.
I guess.
True.
All right. Okay, so going back to you, Stoy, music.
I mean, if you guys want to talk about that stuff, I suppose you can.
Oh, this is great.
Okay.
I'm happy to kick it off because I have not been listening to a lot of music this year. I'm not really quite sure why. Maybe it's just I need to really focus on the type of work that I do, because usually when I write or I work, I listen to music, but I haven't. Maybe some lo-fi beats, but other than that, now that you asked that question, it makes me kind of sit back, and I've noticed that my time listening to music has gone down significantly. I used to listen to a lot of metal, alternative rock. I think the only time I really listen to music now is when I'm in the car and I have the radio on, because there's a station that was created for, aging millennials such as myself. So there's a lot of 80s and 90s rock and roll.
The oldies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 90s is considered old now.
Wow.
It's considered oldies. Every time Nirvana comes up, it's like, oh God, this is a classic rock now.
So what happens when you try to drown a baby in a pool?
Hey, that baby lost his lawsuit.
Yeah, I know.
I was just wondering about that, actually.
He was trying to sue, and I mean, sorry, dude. Like, your parents signed off on it. Sucks that your Diglett is out there for the world to see, but no, my like I said, I explored 57 different genres of music this year, and it was kind of crazy how I jumped all over the place. Like, Stephanie, I think I talked about this with you, that I said, like, I'm not locked into like one genre. Like, the majority of my music taste has been like heavy metal, and I've been a metal fan as long as I can remember, when my friend handed me my first Pantera cassette tape. He's like, listen to this shit. This is good. And man, was a metal fan ever since. So, that's always been my main go-to genre. Like, if I'm in the car, if I'm working out, if I'm just kind of like maybe doing shit around the house, whatever, like my wife will try to blast Backstreet Boys, and her number one artist was Taylor Swift. Surprise, surprise. But, and then I'm blasting my shit in the basement. But, I've discovered retro wave, like synth wave music. I started listening to that actually on like extended rides. I've kind of dabbled into trance, LeRon. I've liked trance because I'm a European descent, so I think I'm genetically designed to
the
like,
kind of gothic,
gothic
EDM. Yeah,
I have to like EDM. It's just part of my blood. It's just, I don't know, something with the beats and the melodic pianos in the background. Yep. Well, all Lord and Savior DJ Tiesto and Paul Oakenfold.
Oh man!
Well, no, honestly,
I just heard some Ready Steady Go like last week.
Paul Oakenfold, our Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
No, like, honestly, for like long motorcycle rides, those are perfect playlists to do. Like, when I would do my long extended rides, like, or my my big camping trips, honestly, putting on like a big like trance EDM playlist and just kind of vibing with it as you're riding. There's nothing like it. Like, it puts you in the mood. One genre that's probably the most interesting that I've really kind of gotten into this year is Nordic music, and we're talking like authentic, ancient Nordic music, where they're actually using kind of more of the authentic instruments. So, like, say for example, Danheim is one that I follow, and Wardruna, that's a big one. the guy that did the soundtrack to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I started listening to the Valhalla soundtrack. Then I started getting a deep dive and like finding other artists and genres. So now I actually run to Viking music. It's pretty fucking sick.
Nice.
Guy out here going doing it for the ancestors.
Yep, exactly.
On his run.
I'm on my way to Valhalla, and I'm taking all you motherfuckers with me.
Oh my god!
All of a sudden, you see me running down the block with like a sword and a large ass stick. I'm coming.
Dude, look, I know you just got through playing God of War Ragnarok, but it wasn't that serious, man.
Hey man. Ragnarok is coming for us all. We got to be ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been kind of like, but it's weird because they give you a playlist of all your top 100, like, oh, these are the most listened to tracks that you listen to, and the 3/4 of it is all just like metal songs. So it's like kind of crazy that those are the songs I have on repeat, but like I'll like dabble into other genres and like, oh, this is cool, that's cool, that's cool. Kind of depends on the mood I'm in, I guess. And what I'm doing.
Yeah, my rap says I had listened to 41 different genres, which of course, like at the top was EDM, and then second to that was pop. But what was kind of cool is number 5 was Australian indie, and
Australian indie, huh?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, I actually have to Google look up like some examples of that, because like Spotify doesn't really give you examples of that per se.
Yeah.
Sure. Shout out to my boys at Diggity. That was my number 1 listen to podcast. And let's see what else. Here's something. My playtime was a whopping 15,678 minutes.
Mine was 57,000 minutes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what was your breakdown? Because mine says there's more than 66% other listeners in the United States. So what was your breakdown?
It was 99%.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
95 or 99% or something like that. I forget what it was.
Yeah, my number 1 song was a song called "White Lies" by this group called M22. They use a sample of, if you guys, well, Corey doesn't listen to music, so Corey, you're exempt for this one. There was an 80s song. There was an 80s song called "Good Life" by I can't remember the "Good Life." I'm looking it up right now.
Must have been great if you don't remember.
Well, I don't remember the name of the original group, which is funny because like I'm a product of the 80s basically. Who was it? Inner City. That's the name of the group. Inner City. So this song "White Lies" has a sample of the 1988 song "Good Life" in it, and I remember vibing to it as soon as I heard it. And but it's an older song, so the fact that it dominated my playlist, like from I guess whatever time I first heard it until now is crazy. But my top 5 is interesting because my top 5 is of course that song "White Lies" by M22. Then the next 3 songs are by an EDM group called Cream. We've got "Water," "Taped Up Heart," and then "Choices." All good songs if you like that type of sound. Like it's just a housey EDM sound. Really danceable stuff like that. And then for number 5 is some freaking K-pop.
Oh.
KDA.
I knew it was gonna be fucking KDA. Why did I know? I was gonna say it was a KDA.
It's either KDA or Blackpink. No, it was Drum Go Dumb.
Okay. Right.
It was a song they did for the League of Legends.
KDA Pop Stars song slaps in Beat Saber.
That song is hot. That song is hot.
Like I played that in Beat Saber and I was like, God damn, this song's fucking good.
Yeah, it's got nice. It's something about that beat. Like it just gets you excited.
Round. You could try it, but not gonna run up down. That's
yeah.
Sorry.
So. as far as top artists of my year, oh yeah, spent nearly 2,000 minutes with podcasts. So there's that. Um,
I didn't get any
yeah.
podcast data. I must not have listened to podcasts enough on Spotify, I guess.
And like I said
Do you guys,
earlier,
so do you guys actually listen to other people's podcasts? Because I don't. I stopped this year.
I'm
a bad podcaster. Yeah, something happened this year where I just like, I didn't want to listen to other people's podcasts, because that was when I would be like, oh man, the way they do that's really cool.
and that's kind of the problem I have. That's kind of the problem I have.
I stopped listening to it. The only thing I would do is I would listen back to our own podcast, EXP Cast, and Crossroads sometimes, because I was like, how did I sound? Am I repeating the same things over and over again? Am I saying stupid shit? Am I saying the C word live on Twitch, and like threatening to get you banned? So like I do that to kind of help teach myself. But yeah, I stopped.
Yeah.
Overall. Maybe that's why Spotify didn't give me any podcast numbers.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, and just for the people who are curious, especially some of the freaks out there, even though the number one podcast I listen to is Diggity, because Brody, you guys know Brody Fultz was one of the originators for the Crossroads podcast back in episode 1. So yeah, I always so he and I always keep dibs on each other's shows. But I also discovered this podcast called Surface Level, which is basically 3 queer BIPOC guys that talk about a whole bunch of topics. It's not always queer stuff, but kind of queer adjacent stuff like that. And then probably some of the ideas that I get for this show come from this other podcast that's in my top 3 called Just a Tip.
Nice.
So there's that, and then number 4 is this podcast called Still Processing. And then overall, they called me the Nomad, and they're saying you're a sonic explorer who listens far and wide, but once you find a song or artist you love, they're with you always. Kind of like a musical souvenir.
Still sounds like an adventure to me.
Yeah, and then just so my top artists were it was Cream, Beyonce, Aluna George, Blau, and Hayden James.
Okay.
Mine was let's see, let me pull it up. Mine was Memphis May Fire, Stabbing Westward, because they came back actually. Cannons was a new artist I discovered this year. Trivium and Bad Omens. So Memphis May Fire, I played their what was it? Their song Make Believe. It came out, and it said I played it 56 times this year, with the most listens on February 28th, 2022. And I remember, because I think that's when they debuted their single of that song, and I was like, this song fucking hits hard. So I played it I think a couple times that day, and I was like, wow, this song's really good. But yeah.
Oh, I don't really.
My top 2 song was Electric Callboy, and have you guys ever heard of this band, Electric Callboy?
Mm-mm.
They used to be called Eskimo Callboy, and they're a German metal band. And when and they've been around for a few years, so apparently when they were trying to set up a world tour, there was a venue that they couldn't book in Canada because they said, well, we don't like your name Eskimo because it's a derogatory name. And they were like, what the fuck? Like, derogatory? Like, we have no idea. I mean, they're from Germany, so they had no idea. So they started deep diving into it, and this was actually they put out videos about this. They did deep dives, they did periods of reflection. They actually talked with a indigenous educator, like a person who teaches at I think some Berlin university that teaches about Alaskan Native, indigenous peoples from Canada and North America. So they actually did a good deep dive of that stuff, and they changed their name to Electric Callboy as opposed to Eskimo Callboy. So now everything's right in the world.
So wait, is Eskimo actually are Eskimos Inuit people, right?
Yes, Alaskan Natives. Alaskan Natives. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Because Eskimo was a term that the colonizers and white settlers kind of gave them because they were like, okay.
There we go.
So I mean, any name that's
The
given
whites.
to a group, any name that's given to another group of people, to a group of people from someone else is always seen as like kind of like, oh, that's kind of derogatory or that's
Makes sense.
whatever. So so that was definitely one of them. So hey, I learned something too. But they have a song called "Pump It," and it's one of my go-to songs on my workout playlist on Spotify because it's like basically just like a big workout song, and you should watch the video. It's pretty hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
So I don't have the Wrapped thing, but I don't want to like not participate. So I just pulled up my library, I guess, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know what I'm doing in Spotify. I don't really use it as often.
There's a I got you. Download an app called IFTTT. Basically,
ooh, that sounds suspect.
Right?
Hold on, because the cool thing about this app is you can tie it into a whole bunch of stuff, but I tie it into Spotify for a few things, and it will help track your number of songs played and how many times you've done them and all the new stuff and all things.
So you're installing spyware on your phone. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's tracking all your moves, all your data, all your clicks. Okay.
It's curated for you.
Of course.
That's
of course
what they
it is.
want
That's what they want you.
That's what they
Fine,
say.
What
whatever.
they tell you.
Fine,
They
whatever.
say,
But one of the
customizing this user experience tailored for you
but one
and
of the,
only you.
one of the coolest things about this though is that like say for example you're on some random playlist, and you hear a song that you've never heard before, and come on, everybody knows like we forget about more songs than we remember. So one of the cool features is like if you have it tuned in, if you have it pointed to your Spotify, you can set up an algorithm to where any of your like songs, the songs that you actually tap the heart key on, like it will actually create a playlist of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's just something I just want to let you know about. But
I
like
appreciate it.
if you're one of those people that's leery about your digital footprint, I understand.
IFTTT.
I'm not. IFTTT.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, all I can share, and I just say it because I think it'll be interesting, amusing to you guys, what's in my library, because I clearly don't know what I'm doing. First of all, at the top, it's liked songs, so I guess that makes sense, the songs that I liked. At the top, I guess it goes by like what I've recently been listening to versus Zelda and Chill, Ocarina of Time soundtrack.
I played that one too. I think there was a new Zelda and Chill like album that just dropped a month or two ago.
Yep. The next is a playlist. It's called Fucking.
I beg your pardon.
Don't you move on. Don't you move on. I need you to elaborate.
My explanation is that that's the playlist we use at pole class, okay?
Yeah, pole class. All right.
Yes, at pole class we do choreo, and then they're like, "Oh, this is great playlist. It's called Fucking." So I'm like, "Okay." So I went to look for it.
Do me a favor. Share me that playlist, please.
Sure. And it's got a tongue and wet emoji too.
I bet it does.
Okay. Here are some of the songs on this playlist. I actually.
Oh, he found it.
And it's yeah. So you got "Go Fuck Yourself" by 2 Feet.
Yep.
"Locked Eyes" by Casual Sex. Let's see. "All That Matters." There's a lot of Justin Bieber on here. There's ... "Fuck" by Johnny Rain.
Nice.
Let's see. 34 plus 35 by Ariana Grande. What the fuck kind of title is that? "First
45.
Fuck" by 6 Lack and Jenny Aiko. "Friends with Benefits" by Tory Lanez.
You also get rid of that one. He's a domestic abuser.
I have no idea who any of these people are. I mean, I know The Weeknd. That's about it. There's a lot of The Weeknd on here.
He does great songs to dance to.
Okay, got it. All right, cool.
All I
So,
all I gotta do is send Corey that perfume commercial.
What's good?
Mhm.
/ Curious by
Oh
Party
yeah,
Next
I
Door.
forgot the one with Zoe Kravitz in it.
Yeah, that one.
But after fucking, I have
After fucking. All right.
Stray original soundtrack, Ghost of Tsushima. I think there's a
Wait,
trend here.
stop. Wait, is
Just-
Stray
just
soundtrack
ruined
actually that
my,
good? Because I don't think I ever paid attention to the music.
Cause I pulled it up because I think that was around the time when I saw that the vinyl was starting to sell. Yeah, I ain't 8-bit, so I was curious, and I kind of liken it to lo-fi type music, you know. So I'm like, all right, it was
Okay.
cool. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, then Thrive. It's an album by Cassidy Pope. Scrambled Rambles. Then you got my usual Van Halen, rock classics, Love Pole Fitness playlist. That's my pole class. Motley Crue, Aerosmith, AC/DC, Nicki Minaj, Lady Gaga, Post Malone, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Bruno Mars, and The Weeknd. It's a very
Sounds all right for me.
but
Fine.
yeah, it's very diverse.
I
Not
love
diverse, but
I love the fact that I'm old enough now, like that like I don't judge people's music, you know. I don't like I find it fascinating the stuff that people listen to because I'm always looking for just new stuff musically to listen to myself and things like that. So like like there's not too much that's off limits to me as far as things like that. I remember there was a time. I remember there was a time when I was young enough where I would judge people's music and I hate that I was that person.
And LeRon made that comment because that's his polite way of saying, I don't judge Steph for her crappy music.
No.
I'm kidding. Breaking news, guys. Well, breaking, it's 42 minutes ago. Nintendo of America tweeted that there will be a software update for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and will be released on 12/1, which is tomorrow. We take the feedback from players seriously and continue to work on improvement to the games. And I'm saying this here, sorry it's on After Dark, but we were discussing this when we were recording our Boss Rush podcast before this.
Nintendo doesn't like giving back money. That's why they're doing this.
Yeah.
Nintendo is not used to giving back money. That's the problem because like Microsoft and Sony set a terrible precedent by starting to give back. Microsoft, Sony, and Steam, started a terrible precedent of doing that, and everybody's like, well, if those guys can give money back, you guys better give money back too.
Yeah, so I guess they're doing that. But anywho.
Like in Star Trek, there's these aliens called the Ferengi, and they have these rules of acquisition. It's all about how to like make money and obtain wealth and stuff like that. And I don't know what the number of this rule of acquisition is, but the rule of acquisition goes: once you have their money, never give it back.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
I can't share on my social medias because in the line of work I do, like people would be like, the fuck you just say?
Nerd.
Anyways,
Corey, how about you? Your music.
I didn't listen to any music this year. I'm gonna tell you.
I told you. Y'all thought I was being mean. I told you.
The most music
leave him alone.
The most music I listened to were the theme songs for all of our podcasts while I'm editing, and then the music we use at work for our podcasts and videos at work. So.
I know.
Okay.
I know. Corey just drops it like it's hot when the freaking PAL Block freaking music is playing.
Yeah, it's not the PAL Block music isn't as like. I don't know. I like the old theme song better, but we had a vote, and that was the one everybody picked. So, but I do like the Expansion Pass theme song.
Well, speaking of podcasts, the podcasts I listen to are the podcasts found within the Boss Rush Network. There's just ones that I just really like. I don't really listen to many beyond that. I am a loyal listener to Dinosaur Machines podcast, Left Behind Game Club. And the odd one in the group that I listen to is, I already forgot already, but it has to do with 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
Reality Gaze.
My wife, I think, just got finished watching something along those lines.
You should tell her about the podcast.
I did the last time you told us about it, and I don't know if she listens or not. It sounds like something she would
okay.
listen to though. So, I don't know. I stopped listening to a lot of podcasts just because of time. I am subscribed to like probably 70 or 80 podcasts, and I have like the ones I have to listen to every week because they're my favorite ones, and then it just kind of dwindles from there. But like my job has changed so much. Like I used to listen to all these podcasts because I used to work in a warehouse and like by myself, and there's nothing to do except for move boxes around. So like I would listen to like probably like 5 or 6 podcasts a day, right? And then now my whole job is making sure I can hear things pretty much, so I don't get to listen to podcasts anymore. So that kind of sucks, but it's fine. That's it. That's all I got.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Music isn't really my thing. And people like always roll their eyes and scoff at me when I say that, but it's just like, I don't know.
No, I mean it's not. I mean it's not for everybody. Like obviously,
Yeah, true.
Music is a centerpiece and kind of how I do things. Like a lot of times I can't do anything. Like if you tell me to go to the gym without headphones, like I'm telling you, like you're out of your goddamn mind.
Mhm.
Like I've turned around and gone home once or twice because I've left my headphones.
Same.
I'm like,
Same
no,
here.
I ain't listening to the trash that they play in this gym. Like I'm going
Yeah.
home. So, but yeah, like obviously in the car, Stephanie, I didn't showcase my my $15 sound system in my pickup truck when I gave you a ride to your but yeah, like I mean it's a big centerpiece for me. Like I want my music to sound good, and I want it to, I kind of felt that way, like the whole like shift from buying albums to now streaming platforms has been kind of like I hate it, but I also love it because it's cheaper in the long run for the consumer to just pay a subscription service and just kind of go with it. But I know a lot of times that screws over the artists because they don't make, by some accounts, they don't make the same amount like from streaming platforms versus like actually selling their albums.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of the way of, media these days. Like it's like, these artists could like sell albums and just kind of live off that. But like nowadays, like a lot of these like rock bands have to constantly tour now in order to make some sort of investment because Spotify doesn't cut them a check as much as they should, or YouTube doesn't cut them a check as big as they should. So.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I wonder when I always think like Spotify costs what, $10 a month? Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I think Apple Music just went up $1, so I think it's like $10 or $11 a month because it was $8 for a while and now it's $9 or $10 or something. But like how are they paying these people? Like, I mean, I guess you have like millions of subscribers and you make like probably like hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars a year from just subscriptions. But like, how do you pay these people? I mean, I guess maybe you don't. You pay the record companies, I guess, is what you pay.
You pay the record companies.
Yeah, and then the record company basically cuts the check down to the artist. So because how it is like the record company always takes like 30% of usual album sales. So they probably take something similar where they'll they'll get the check, they'll take their portion and then hand it down to the rest of the artists. So
man.
But I mean that's the problem because like it's a good place to, streaming services are good places to like really find those like hard to find artists or those like artists like no one ever heard of, the mainstream artists. And I admit I found some great artists and great groups, great bands that I would never have found otherwise. I used to go into record stores and like kind of try to find something that like, oh, this cover art looks pretty cool. I'll give this band a shot. I've been burnt before, but now it's on Spotify or YouTube. It's just like you stream it. You're like, oh, I like it, or you say, I'm going to move on. Yeah, I think like with streaming and everything, I think 80% or you got 20% of the artists that make 80% of the get 80% of the listens. So that kind of sucks. It's that 80-20 rule. So
yeah, that's just...
obviously the little guys aren't making a killing on Spotify or Apple Music, but
all right,
at least they're getting noticed.
Yeah. Well, it just always boggles my mind. Like I started really thinking about that when I was thinking about how Game Pass works, right, on Xbox. And I was like, well, how do all these, like, I mean, I guess like movies and stuff, it probably works similar to what, cable used to do, right? Where like they'll just buy the movie from like Paramount or whatever, and they just have the license to put it on their network or whatever. But like, I don't know, man. It's just, money's weird.
Yeah, I feel that way with Game Pass too sometimes, because I'm like, oh man, I really hope the developers are getting something out of this.
Yeah, no.
Yes, that's the way I feel all the time.
That's why I always like, which defeats the purpose of Game Pass, but I always like try to buy the games that I really enjoy, right? Like Outriders, I straight up bought because like I really love that game, but I wouldn't have paid $70 for it, like just based off reviews and how people were talking about it on podcasts. But then it was on Game Pass, so I'm like, well, it kind of looks like Gears of War, and I like Gears of War, and what I read initially about it in Game Informer, because it was like a cover story or whatever, and then it got delayed 75 times, but I liked what I saw, and then when I played it, it was like, this game's awesome. I don't know why people don't like this game. It's awesome. So, but I wouldn't have ever played it. I mean, I might have bought it on sale later, but
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing, is that your discoverability goes up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Game Pass is a good tool, but also like sometimes I feel bad that I don't pay for games. But usually the indies, though, if I discover it on Game Pass, I'll just buy it on Switch, though. That's usually kind of how it goes. Death's Door. Still thinking about Tunic, but I don't see. Like when I played of Tunic, like I played it right a little bit of it while I was playing Death's Door, because I was like, oh, I kind of want to play a similar game. They kind of, I mean, similar in a vague sense, but I'm like, but then like Tunic was too slow, too cumbersome, too exploratory, and I'm like, I should just finish Death's Door and play this later.
I'm willing to buy Tunic, but I'm really holding out for a physical. Like, it's gotta.
I thought they announced a physical, didn't they?
Of Tunic? I don't know.
Yeah.
No. I mean, unless I'm missing out on some new news, but I don't think I
Okay.
have any.
I could be wrong. Like I look at all these games, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure someone's got a physical copy coming out.
You would think, I would think so, especially if it's been nominated for one of the Indie Game of the Year things. Like, if Stray was able to get a physical copy, Sifu has a physical copy. I'm trying to think. Cult of the Lamb, physical copy. So I can't see why a game like Tunic wouldn't get a physical.
Yeah, it seemed like it got better reception than most games that get physical copies these days.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So cool.
All right. Well, I think that about does it for us.
Yeah, we went a whole hour.
That about does it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Thanks
All
for the
right.
topic, Stoy. It was wholesome. It was great. Again, it's, something that's not too heavy and not about sex, because apparently that's just my default. So.
Right. Yeah.
This episode's
yeah,
this episode's taking hard in the Patreon this time.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it does well. I
Unsubscribe.
hope it does well. I mean, if it doesn't, then I guess I'm never invited ever again.
You're always welcome.
Oh no, misery loves company. You're coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should just come back every week.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
More podcasting.
Yeah.
Oh. I gotta come up with interesting things to talk about, like 3 times a week. Jesus.
All right, everyone. Well, that's our show for tonight. As always, I'd like to thank you for all hanging out with us at Boss Rush After Dark. Before we head out, here's how you can get in contact with any of us if you want to. Stoy, you've got some tomorrow night. You go first.
I gotta remind myself that I'm I'm also on the EXP Cast, the video game podcast, part of the Boss Rush Network, and I am also on the Crossroads podcast, another video game podcast with the Boss Rush Network as well. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EXPcast, and then also I have a personal Twitter, StoyMKE8.
Cool. Stephanie.
People can find me on the internets at Klimov_author on Twitter and Instagram. Find me on the Boss Rush podcast, EXP Cast, and my articles on bossrush.net.
All right. Corey.
You can find me at I am Corey HD on Twitter and Instagram. Also, I should probably point out, also on Hive and Mastodon at I am Corey HD. I created those for work purposes, though. It wasn't like, so when you are a social media manager, you should probably be on social media platforms. Anyways,
on all the social media platforms.
Yeah. I'm also on co-host if you want to find me there as well. I don't really know what it is, but it's fine. You can also find me on Nintendo Power Block, Boss Rush Podcast, and various other things here on the Boss Rush Network. Go to bossrush.net.
All right, cool. And as always, you can find me on social media, YouTube, Twitch, as well as various gaming platforms by looking up Exodus 803. I am also with Stoy Tuesday nights on the Crossroads podcast. And of course, you already know me on Boss Rush. So there's that. All right. We want to thank everyone for hanging out. Thank you if you are a patron. We love you. We appreciate everything you do for us. You're why we have a show. And until next time, don't forget, you're tuning into Boss Rush After Dark, the one show of the Boss Rush Network where it's not always content appropriate stuff for our other anchor shows. We love you. We appreciate you. And you have a good night. Be safe out there. And don't catch COVID. It's not a fun time.
It's not.
Take care.
I've been trying for 3 fucking years.